Hello my loves and welcome back to Vlogmas Day 15. I hope you are enjoying. Today I thought we would talk about the some palettes that didn't meet my expectations. I filmed my palettes that exceeded my expectations about 2 weeks ago, I think, and that is up, so I will link it below. But today I thought we'd talk about some sad ones, I really wanted to love these and I don't. So there is a lot less than the palettes that exceed my expectations. I've just got 6 to talk to you through today, so it's hopefully going to be a quick one. But if you're not new here, you'll know I'm a rambler, so we'll see how long it takes. So first one I wanted to mention was Melt 420. This packaging is gorgeous. This colour story is just the most perfect autumnal colour story. I absolutely love this. I quite like Melt's shadow formula, but this is just, these colours do not blend. It doesn't matter what you do, how you work with them, what base you use, what brushes you use, whether they're real hair or synthetic, or it just doesn't matter. This doesn't blend at all. It is patchy. This to me is like Anastasia Subculture version 2. And I just don't seem to understand why companies can't get this colour story right, because it is such a beautiful colour story, but I think I've tried to use it 3-4 times and I wipe the look off every single time. I never do that. I always manage to find a way to work with it, but this is just, it's unworkable to me, which is really sad because the colour story is gorgeous. Next up, this is one that I don't particularly dislike, but this is the Naughty Nudes from HUDA. I'm actually wearing the new HUDA grunge palette on my eyes now. I really like the formula, it's really pretty. My issue with this palette is I find everything I do with it looks the same. It doesn't matter what look I do, it all looks the same. I don't love this weird pigment burst bubble thing. Dried out at this point anyway. I did say in this video where I did this look, I don't particularly like the cream shades in Huda's palettes. Like this one, it just does nothing. But it's a really pretty colour story. I just find you can't really do anything with it. I think because the tones are quite similar. They're all on kind of a similar, you've got like 3 darker tones and 3 medium tones and 2 very light ones. And I think it doesn't seem to matter what you do, even when you sort of mix up the shimmers, it always kind of looks the same, which is really weird. So I do like this one, but it didn't meet my expectations because I thought I would be able to do more with it, if that makes sense. Next up is the Nabla Cutie palette. This is the coral shade. I thought I was gonna love this one because Angelica Nishfist always talks about these palettes. There's only 2 mattes in here. This kind of deep red is like a satiny shade. This mandarin looks like it's going to be really pretty, but it just feels a bit dry. It is pretty once you build it up, but just feels a bit dry. I wasn't blown away by the formula. This I Got You shade kind of does a bit of like hard pan, although it's a pretty shade. I don't know what it is about this one. I just don't love it as much as I expected it to, because it's very much a me colour story, but I did think this red shape shade was matte, so I don't know whether I would have liked it more if that was matte. I don't know, for me I feel like I'm not a small palette person. I feel like I much prefer a larger palette with more choice. Speaking of larger palettes with more choice, this is possibly the most ridiculous palette I own, and it's the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. It's got like the Iron Throne in it. Super cool, like collector's makeup piece. It's beautifully designed. It's massive, which is really annoying because the palette is literally that thick. This just doesn't work. This has literally got 3 mattes in it. Yeah, 3. And like a black with some shimmer in it. It's just not for me. I thought I'd really like it because I love Urban Decay's kind of special shades. They're like Moon Dust Formula. They are really beautiful shades. I just never use it because why would you put 3 matte shades in such a big palette? I know some of my followers right now, I'm probably going to be like, that's the perfect amount of shimmers. And don't get me wrong, they are beautiful shimmers, very, very intense. This Frozen North shade is like a navy blue, is gorgeous. But I literally never use it. The only reason it's still in my collection is it's such like a collector's piece. But yeah, I don't really know why I bought this one. Because this one is my own fault. I like matte shades, not 57 shimmers and 3 mattes. Right, okay, last two. I am kind of gutted I'm including this one. This is the Sea Talk palette from Odins Eye. I actually included the, what's the neutral one called? The neutral one with Makeup for Lost Time in the palettes that exceeded my expectations. I really, really thought I was going to love this one. The shades are beautiful. I think what gets me about this one is this shade here is not matte. And I did this really cool look where I blended Night Swan out with that, but I don't like anything shimmery in my crease. I just don't find it works. And this is kind of like a satiny shade. But I think when you swatch it, it almost does look matte, and then you start blending it and kind of the sheen out of it comes out. The kind of chunky glitter shades are beautiful. I think if you are a neutral lover, you would probably really enjoy this one. For me, I really wish that this was matte and then these two shades were different kinds of blues, because for me, having the neutral quad, I don't really use it, which means I've only got one matte to play with when I thought it was 2. So I was really kind of gutted about that one. And then last but not least, this is the Made by Mitchell Mangoes palette. I really love the Dream Head in the Clouds palette and the Feet on the Ground palettes. They're great quality. This one to me just lacked something. These shimmers were just a little bit lackluster. Like, they look really glittery in the pan, and then you swatch them and they're just not a lot to look at. The mattes were nice. I don't know why I felt so kind of restricted by this colour story. For me, like, I thought it was going to be something I absolutely loved, but I just find it's just not quite what I expected. The mattes aren't quite as creamy as the other ones, although they're nice and they blend nicely. It just didn't live up to it in terms of what I expect from Made by Mitchell, comparing like his last couple of palettes. So I made it to here too. So that is it for today. As I said, nice little short one for you there. I do hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and YouTube will notify you every time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Coleoftheball, and I'll see you next time. Bye.